Welcome back to Remember This Tech. And today's video is going to be a special video. In fact, I'm going to be building a sleeper build. One of my first that I've built on this channel, and hopefully not the last. I'm going to be using this all-white Dell case. It looks great, right? Unassuming. We're going to make it a true sleeper build, because we're going to throw in some fairly decent high-end parts. We're going to add some I/O to the front panel so that we get the USB 3.0 speeds and more. In keeping with the theme, the retro sleeper theme of the Dell white case behind me, I've got this, a 4060 MSI RTX. Now, it's a smaller dual fan model, so I think it's going to fit. We've got this ID cooling LED 4-pipe heatsink cooler, and it's going to go perfect in this. And to power the CPU for this, we're going with an 8-core design, AM4 chipset, AMD Ryzen 5700x. Everybody will probably say, well, you should have went with the 3D chip, blah, blah, blah. Those chips were a lot more expensive at the time of this filming, and this is what I got for about $160. So it's got high clocks, it's got 16 threads and 8 physical CPUs, so I'm sure it's going to do the trick. And I mentioned I/O. Well, thanks from the mister. He gave me this link for this front 3.5 front I/O panel with USB 3.2, Type-C and A hub. It's got the C and 3.2 USB, so we got I/O. Now, you probably won't be able to see some of these when the doors are closed, but I got these cool LED fans so we can make sure we have adequate flow and cooling in this tight, small, old case. We have to have enough power to run this beast of a machine. So I got this fully modular, pure power, 850 watt, 80 plus gold power supply. Hopefully I can get it in there. So without further ado, let's start ripping the guts out of this old case, clean it up a bit, put in the monster components that are gonna be the heart and soul of this sleeper PC. Come on, this is exciting. Let's go! All right, we gotta get this old Dell motherboard out of the case, take the power supply out, and we got to see if the motherboard that I have, the AMD, fits in here, because, well, it wouldn't be a sleeper case if you didn't have a higher end motherboard CPU combo. So, ran into the first conundrum here if you look. Alright, so this I/O shield backplate isn't removable on this stupid case. Okay, so I literally have to Dremel or cut this whole thing out in order to fit a motherboard in here, because Dell, in their infinite wisdom, never decided that people are going to reuse these cases. So this is not removable. And on top of that, the B550 Prime that I was going to use is too big for this case. So the other alternative I have, Prime A520A micro ATX board. But the problem is that it only supports PCI Express 3.0. So what am I to do? I'm not good with the Dremel, so we're just gonna do the best we can here, and if I screw up, I screw up. So wish me luck. Can't really get a good angle on this thing. Got this cut. I know it's not perfect. I try to sand some of this down to make it not sharp. I'm going to put in the plate here, and as you can see, it is about the best I can get, and I can just put a little white tape to, you know, make it a little tighter. So let's get to that. It's not perfect, but neither am I, or neither is this case. So let's get to it. All right. I know it doesn't look good, doesn't look like much, but I put some white tape with the white theme on the outside of the bird edges so that I can put in the punch out for the I/O plate. And it almost fits perfectly. So let's get it in and get the board mounted. Hey everyone, this fits with the help of the electrical tape. Well, the white tape, it makes it look more authentic, more sleeper build-ish in my opinion. Yeah, call me out for it if you want in the comments. That's cool. I like it. Not really, but I'm gonna get this ID cooling cooler on here if it's going to kill me. It's just, I don't even know if I can get it on here and still close the case, but I'm gonna try it because it's white and it's what I want to use. So let's do it. Enter the Ryzen 5700x CPU. Let's get it in. Let's get some thermal paste on here and then see if we can test fit it in the case, which will tell us whether the door on the side door in the case will close or not. I'm not going to cut out the side door. There's no point in that. This is just a test fit. It barely fits in here as it is. Holes line up, great. It's not, it looks like it's a micro millimeter too tall. Anybody notice if I just kind of jam it in there, jam it on? Oh, I hate doing this. I mean, the case side will bulge just a little bit, just a tiny bit in the middle. It's just not latching 100%. If I go like this, yeah, we'll just do that. Looks like it'll work for a sleeper build. Yep, we're going with it. There it is. There it is. Gonna use 16 gig DDR3200 DDR4 memory because I'm using the other 16 gig in server to record this on the capture machine, and then the crucial P3 Plus NVMe drive. Let's get it in there. Well, let's see if this will fit. I mean, it's really gonna be tight going to get it in here, if at all. Oh, look at that, like a glove. USB 3.1, 3.0. Now, I don't know if this board has a header for the USB-C, but we'll have to look. If not, at least we got this high-speed ports here, plus the back. Look at that. Sweet. Alright, still have the old Dell cables. Some of my can hook up, but this right here goes in here. Goes right here, like that. So now we have fast front panel I/O. Excellent. The problem is that the USB-C, this board doesn't have a port for it, so I just can't do it. Oh, what a bummer. But I can't fit the other B550 motherboard in here, so we're kind of stuck. So let's get the rest of this in here. We've got to hook up the rest of the front cables, audio, etc. Then we'll hook up the graphics card, go from there, and build. Alright, let's see if this video card fits in here. Plenty of room with this smaller 2-fan design. I could have probably went with the 3-fan design, but I just like the white color of the GeForce 4060 personally that I have, so it fits perfectly in this build. There we are. Looks like it's time to try to get the power supply in here now. Oy, it's gonna be a rough one. The Be Quiet power supply is pretty large. In order to get it to fit, I had to bend some sheet metal pieces because they were interfering with this power supply from being able to fit. Why? Because the older Dell one wasn't as big. I used these to help it support it. So I had to bend these down, bend this down, bend the sheet metal back, and form it a little bit. Now, sometimes when you get a power supply in your case, especially a modular one, it's hard to see all these slots here. So I think I'm also going to plugging in the cables. Now I got all of them situated. Let's try to get this in here without causing too much issues. Maybe I made a mistake. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take out the CD-ROM. Alright, let's do that. CD-ROM is out. It had to come out through the case itself. It wouldn't come out the front like a normal PC, of course. Why? Because they have a stopper in there that won't let you take it out. Such a pain in my butt. Okay, that's how that goes. And then it kind of just is gonna have to sit here. So, a little bit of cable management. There is no way in the world to get a front fan in here unless it's a micro fan. I bought these cool RGB fans for this build, but it doesn't even fit in there no matter what I do. I suppose I could zip tie it on. The only other option I have is to put in this dinky little fan for the exhaust. And it's not technically what I want to do, but I can do that. I may go with the zip tie route, so let me just try one or the other. But before I even do that, let me boot this thing up and see if it recognizes the CPU. The Dell sleeper system is up and running. Got Windows 10 installed and all the patches installed. As you see behind me, everything's packed to the gills. Looks pretty cool. Got the all white design, white case, and it's got the AMD system on there, in there. And in the front, we've got the I/O here, which I have to test to see if it works, obviously. Let's see. And it works. It pops up, popped right up. Fast I/O. How nice. Basically now all we have to do is do a few benchmarks. We're gonna do, the synthetic benchmarks with do times pi and see how this system fares. Now I'm finally pairing this 4060 with a CPU that's capable of pushing it and not bottlenecking it. The 5700X, 8-core, 16-thread AMD CPU. Not only that, we're going to test a few games. Let's see what this little sleeper build can do, shall we? Let's go! So, alright, let's see what we can do now. Alright, 1440p. I think right now is a good time to see what we can do as far as this 1440p. Are we capable of doing that on this system? And we haven't really taken a dent, but it looks alright. It's like, now where do you go? I don't know. What's a flip in the air gonna do for you? Alright. We've proven that we can play this game at 1080p and we can play at 1440p. So this setup is pretty nice so far. So the next thing we're going to try to play is Red Dead Redemption 2. And we're going to do a quick check of what it looks like FPS wise, 1440p, and see how the system runs. The Dell Sleeper system. Alright, let's stop the counter, go into the details, double check the setting. It's like snowing out. I think VSync's enabled or something. What's going on? Alright, now we are at around 60 FPS. And it's snowing and it looks like crap. What is that, a little reindeer? So that is 1440p. Excellent. Let's try Red Dead Redemption 2 at 1080p. We're pulling around a solid 85 FPS here. I'm not sure this is visible across the stream here, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yes. Yeah. I don't know where my weapons are or anything, so one day I'll actually sit down and figure out how to play the game. But 1080p, yeah, we're pulling like 114 FPS now. That's insane. Well, I mean, if you look at the CPU, I mean, we're not even stressing the CPUs. The GPU, around 95% utilization, so not that bad. There's still some headroom for the GPU memory too, so What? There's a little reindeer? I gotta get a reindeer. Hey, get down. It's my horse now. What is that guy getting naked in the middle of the road for? I don't know, dude. Look at the Christmas tree, dude. Okay, we're set to high at 1080p. Alright, that's good. FSR2. Okay. VSync. We don't want VSync. We want to get max resolution. We might get some tearing, stutter, but let's check it out. Alright, so let's stop this. Alright, we're starting. So we're at 1080p right now. Wow. Don't think I should have attacked that guy. I don't think I should have attacked him. Yes, word to the wise. Do not attack those guys. They will kill you. Alright, so we're running well at this resolution, and my Starship, the little piece of junk that it is, cannot take hits like that. But yeah, I mean, 86 FPS, frame time looks okay, I guess. Alright, 1080p works great. Let's go with 1440. Alright, let's do 1440p. Here we are. Everything's to high. VSync's off. FSR2. I'm sure what we'll see here is a jump in usage for CPU, but we're showing 98% GPU usage, and we're going at, oh, you know, 50, 60% CPU here and there. So 77 FPS, very nice. I cannot keep up to this guy. Let's stop killing innocent civilians and getting killed in the process, and let's go on the planet where we're supposed to go in the first place. It's always good to make sure you got your spacesuit on, right? Yeah, So yeah, so let's go to the fracking station. Frack that. It looks like there's like graininess to this. Am I seeing it wrong? But it looks grainy, right?
glad to see you. We need your help. Spacers have been paying us visits. Every time, they take more and more. Now, there is nothing left. They're not far from here. But we are not cut out for that kind of combat.
So yeah, works great in 1440p, Starfield. Not bad. 16 gig of RAM. So let's see what we can test next, shall we? So, my final thoughts on this white Dell sleeper build case. It was a little bit more tricky than I initially thought, but I think it came out alright. What tools I had to work with and my basic lack of knowledge on using a Dremel. The overall build quality of the parts, aside from the motherboard, I think were pretty high, and the results for 1080p and 1440p gaming were pretty satisfactory. When I was finally able to pair up the 4060 with a decently powered CPU so it could stretch its legs a bit. So let me know what you think of this sleeper build down in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Remember this tech.